I found the phone wedged between my wife's yoga mat and a protein shaker bottle. A cheap flip phone, the kind drug dealers use in movies. The kind nobody owns anymore unless they're hiding something. My hands went numb. We'd been married for 11 years. 11 years of building a life together in our modest 3-bedroom house in suburban Columbus, Ohio. 2 kids, Emma, 9, and Tyler, 6. A golden retriever named Biscuit. The whole American dream package. And now I'm standing in our garage at 6:30 on a Tuesday morning, holding a burner phone while my wife sleeps upstairs. I should have put it back, should have walked away. Instead, I flipped it open. The message history made my stomach drop through the concrete floor. Last night was incredible. Can't wait until Friday. Your husband still clueless? LOL. Booked the hotel, same place. Room 447. I scrolled up. Months of messages. Months. The earliest ones dated back to last October, 8 months ago. My vision blurred as I read through appointment times, hotel confirmations, and messages so explicit they made me want to vomit right there in the garage. The contact name was just a letter. D. My wife Melissa, the woman who'd cried at our wedding, who'd held my hand through my father's funeral, who'd given birth to our children, had been living a double life for 8 months. I heard footsteps upstairs, the shower turning on. My mind raced. It was Tuesday. The messages mentioned Friday. That gave me 3 days. 3 days to figure out what the hell I was going to do. I made it through breakfast on autopilot. Melissa came downstairs in her scrubs. She worked as a dental hygienist at a practice downtown and kissed me on the cheek like she did every morning. Her lips felt like ice against my skin. "You okay, babe?" she asked, pouring coffee. "You look pale." "Didn't sleep great," I managed. My voice sounded normal. How was that possible? "You need to take better care of yourself, Jack." She squeezed my shoulder. "You work too hard." I'm a project manager for a construction company. Long hours, sure, but I always made it home for dinner. Always coached Tyler's soccer on weekends. Always thought I was doing everything right. Emma and Tyler fought over the last waffle while Melissa checked her phone. Her real phone. The iPhone in the sparkly case Emma had picked out for Mother's Day. I wondered how many phones she actually had. How many versions of herself? "I've got that conference in Cleveland on Friday," Melissa said casually, not looking up from her screen. "Remember? The dental hygiene symposium? I'll be back Sunday afternoon." A conference. Right? I'd seen it on the calendar for weeks. She'd even shown me the registration confirmation. I'd never questioned it. Why would I? "Right?" I said. "Cleveland." She smiled at me. That same smile I'd fallen in love with 13 years ago at a mutual friend's barbecue. Back when I thought I knew her. "You're the best for holding down the fort," she said. "I'll make it up to you when I get back." The kids finished breakfast. I helped Tyler find his library book while Melissa packed Emma's lunch. We moved around each other in our practiced morning choreography, a dance we'd perfected over a decade of marriage. At 7:40, she grabbed her purse and gym bag, the same bag where I'd found the phone. I'd put it back exactly where I'd found it. She had no idea I knew. "Love you," she called out, heading for the garage. "Love you too," I said automatically. The door closed. I heard her car start. Watched through the window as she backed down the driveway, probably already thinking about him. About Friday. About room 447. Tyler tugged on my sleeve. "Dad, we're gonna be late." I drove the kids to school in a fog, waved to the crossing guard, told Emma to have a good day at her field trip, reminded Tyler about soccer practice after school. Normal dad stuff, like my entire world hadn't just detonated. When I got to the office, I locked my door and pulled up a private browser window. I'm not a detective. I'm not a tech guy. But I'm not stupid either. I knew enough to start digging. Melissa's credit card statements. We had a joint account, but she had her own card for independence, something I'd never minded before. I logged into the account portal. There they were. Hotel charges. The Fairmont in downtown Columbus. Once, sometimes twice a month since October. Always on days she'd told me she was working late or attending training sessions. Dinner charges at expensive restaurants I'd never been to. Purchases from Victoria's Secret. She hadn't worn lingerie for me in over a year. My hands shook as I scrolled through the evidence of her betrayal, laid out in neat rows of transactions. She hadn't even been careful. She must have thought I'd never look, that I trusted her too much. She was right. I had. I pulled up her social media. Nothing obvious there. Melissa was smart enough not to post pictures with her affair partner. But I noticed something. A guy named Derek Phillips commented on several of her posts. Nothing inappropriate, just casual stuff. Great photo, and hope you had fun. Derek Phillips. I clicked on his profile. Private, but I could see his profile picture. Mid-30s, athletic build, expensive-looking watch. His bio said he was a pharmaceutical sales rep. Of course. The practice where Melissa worked got visited by pharma reps all the time. She'd mentioned a few by name over the years. Derek might have been one of them. Or maybe not. Maybe they'd met somewhere else. I sat back in my chair, staring at my computer screen. 3 days until Friday. 3 days to decide whether to confront her now, follow her to the hotel, or do something else entirely. My phone buzzed. A text from Melissa. Forgot to mention, working late tonight. Inventory at the office. Don't wait up! Heart emoji. It was Tuesday. I checked the burner phone messages I'd photographed that morning. Can't wait until tonight. Usual spot at 8? Tonight. She was seeing him tonight. I find the wine glass on the bathroom counter when I get home from work. Just sitting there. Crystal stem, bowl still holding maybe an inch of red wine, and a perfect kiss mark on the rim. Deep burgundy lipstick, slightly smudged where her upper lip pressed against the glass. Melissa doesn't drink alone. Not usually. We have wine with dinner sometimes, open a bottle on weekends, but she doesn't pour herself a glass at 3 in the afternoon on a Tuesday and drink it in the bathroom. I pick up the glass. The wine's still cool. She's been home maybe an hour and a half. Our bedroom door is closed. She's probably napping before her inventory shift tonight. The shift that's actually Derek Phillips at some hotel downtown. The lipstick is dark. Darker than what she usually wears. I've seen her lips 1,000 times, kissed them this morning before work, and they were the usual pink nude shade she favors. Professional. Appropriate for a dental hygienist. This is different. Richer. More dramatic. I set the glass down and walk to our bedroom, open the door quietly. Melissa's asleep on top of the covers, still in her scrubs, one arm thrown over her eyes. Her makeup bag sits on the dresser where she always leaves it. I take the bag to the bathroom, close the door, lock it. Inside are the usual suspects: mascara, foundation, 3 or 4 lip products. I line them up on the counter next to the wine glass. 2 are the pink nude shades I recognize. One is a coral that she wore to her sister's wedding last summer. The last is a deep burgundy red. I uncap it. The color matches the kiss mark on the glass perfectly. But here's the thing. I've never seen her wear this shade, not once in 11 years. I turn the tube over. Ravish Me Red, by some brand called Sommelier. Expensive-looking packaging, French name, wine-themed marketing. The kind of thing you'd buy at a boutique, not a drugstore. I pull out my phone and search for it. The brand's website comes up first. Luxury cosmetics, wine-inspired color names, sold at select retailers. Then a YouTube video. Wine Country Glam Tutorial with Certified Sommelier Jenna Whitfield. I click it. The woman on screen is maybe 30, blonde, wearing a black turtleneck. She's sitting in what looks like a wine shop, bottles arranged artfully behind her. Hi everyone, Jenna here, and today I'm showing you my go-to look for wine tastings and vineyard visits. She talks through foundation, eyeshadow, blush. Then she holds up a lipstick. And for lips, I'm obsessed with Ravish Me Red from Sommelier. It's the perfect deep burgundy, doesn't transfer onto wine glasses, well, not much anyway, and the staying power is incredible. She applies it. The same shade that's on Melissa's lips right now, sleeping in our bed. I keep watching. Jenna demonstrates the lipstick, takes a sip from a wine glass to show how it holds up, then gives her social media handles. I'm a Jenna the Wine Girl on Instagram, and if you're ever in San Francisco, stop by Whitfield & Co. Wine Shop in the Marina District. I do tastings every Saturday afternoon. San Francisco. Melissa went to San Francisco 3 months ago. Dental conference, she'd said. 4 days in February. I'd stayed home with the kids, managed bedtimes and homework, and Tyler's science project about volcanoes. I open Instagram on my phone. Search for a Jenna the Wine Girl. The account is public. Photos of wine bottles, vineyard visits, glasses held up to sunsets. And there, 5th photo down from the top, Jenna and Melissa, arms around each other's shoulders, both holding wine glasses, both wearing that same deep red lipstick. The caption reads, "Wine tasting solo turned into wine tasting duo. New friend Melissa from Ohio knows her Pinot Noir, Wine Country, San Francisco, new friends." Posted February 18th. I scroll through the comments. Mostly generic stuff. Gorgeous. Love this. Wine glass emojis. But one comment from Melissa's account. Best day ever. Can't wait to come back and visit your shop again. Visit again. I go back to Melissa's credit card statement, the one I pulled yesterday. Scan through March, April, and there it is. April 14th, United Airlines, 487. April 14th to 17, Fairmont, San Francisco, Wanyasu 83. She went back. Told me it was a girls' weekend with her sister. I'd called her sister to coordinate Emma's birthday gift, and she'd mentioned nothing about a trip. I look at the wine glass, at the lipstick, at Jenna's Instagram. Then I go back to the burner phone messages. I'd been so focused on D that I hadn't paid attention to the other conversations. But there's a thread with a contact labeled J. I open it. J. Miss you already. My lips are still tingling from that cab sauve. And other things. Melissa. I can't stop thinking about Saturday. You're dangerous. J. You're the one who wanted to try the private tasting room. Melissa. Worth every penny. When can you come to Ohio? J. Working on it. Maybe June? I could do a vendor visit to some wine shops in Columbus. Stay a few days. Melissa. Yes, please. I need to taste you again. The messages go back to February. Hundreds of them. Photos, too. Wine bottles, yes, but also hotel rooms. Tangled sheets. Melissa's hand holding Jenna's against a sunset. I'd been looking for Derek Phillips. For D. For a man. I'd been looking in completely the wrong direction. I sit on the bathroom floor with the wine glass in my hand. The lipstick. The phone. Melissa isn't having an affair with Derek Phillips. She's having an affair with Jenna Whitfield, the sommelier, the wine shop owner from San Francisco who does YouTube tutorials and Saturday tastings and apparently seduces married dental hygienists from Ohio. And Derek? I scroll back through the burner phone. Find the D messages again. Read them differently now. D. Your husband still clueless? LOL. Melissa. Completely. He thinks I'm at a dental conference this weekend. D. You're terrible. I love it. Melissa. Says the man who's covering for me with his pharmaceutical conference excuse. Derek isn't her lover. He's her alibi, her accomplice. Probably getting something out of it. Maybe Melissa's covering for him too, lying to his wife or girlfriend about where he is while he does God knows what. I hear movement in the bedroom. Melissa's awake. I stand up, unlock the bathroom door, walk out with the wine glass still in my hand. She's sitting on the edge of the bed, rubbing her eyes. Sees me, smiles. "Hey babe, didn't hear you come home." "You were asleep." I hold up the glass. "You left this in the bathroom." She glances at it. No reaction. "Oh yeah, I had a glass before my nap. Long day? New lipstick?" "Hmm?" She looks confused, then touches her lips. "Oh, yeah. Do you like it? I got it in San Francisco. That wine shop owner I met, Jenna. She recommended it." She says it so casually, so easily. Like Jenna is just a friend. Just a nice woman who suggested a good lipstick brand. "It's nice," I say. "Different from what you usually wear. I thought I'd try something new." She stands up, stretches. "I need to get ready for work. Inventory night." "Right. Inventory." She walks past me into the bathroom, starts the shower. I watch her through the doorway. She strips off her scrubs, steps under the water, and starts washing off the deep burgundy lipstick that matches Jenna Whitfield's tutorial. That matches the kiss mark on the wine glass. That matches the lips that have been kissing someone else for 3 months. I go back to the bedroom, open her makeup bag again, pull out all 4 lipsticks. Then I go to the kitchen, get a hand mirror from the junk drawer, and bring it back to the bathroom, set it on the counter. When Melissa gets out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, I'm waiting. "What's all this?" she asks, looking at the lipsticks lined up on the counter. "I want to see something," I say. "Put them on." "What?" "The lipsticks. Put them on. One at a time. I want to see which shade looks best." She laughs. "Jack, I need to get ready for work." "It'll take 2 minutes. Humor me." She looks at me strangely, but picks up the first one, the pink nude, applies it, presses her lips together. "This one?" "Kiss the mirror." "What?" "Press your lips to the mirror, like a kiss mark. I want to see how it looks." She's confused now, maybe a little annoyed, but she does it. Leaves a pale pink impression on the glass. "Next one." She wipes off the pink, applies the coral. Kisses the mirror again. Another print. Next. The second pink nude. Another kiss. Now the last one. She hesitates. Just for a second. Then picks up the Ravish Me red. Applies it slowly. The deep burgundy transforms her mouth. Makes her look like someone I don't know. "Kiss the mirror," I say. She presses her lips to the glass. The mark is perfect. Identical to the one on the wine glass. I pick up the wine glass, hold it next to the mirror. The prints match exactly. "Tell me about Jenna," I say. Her face goes white under the bathroom lights. The color drains from her face like wine poured down a sink. "Jack, Tell me about Jenna." I keep my voice level. The lipstick tube sits between us on the bathroom counter, next to the wine glass with her perfect lip print. Evidence. All of it, evidence. She looks at the mirror, at the burgundy kiss mark she just pressed there. 6 different shades from her makeup bag, each one leaving its impression on the glass. But only one matched the wine glass. Only one. "How did you—" She stops, swallows. Her hand goes to her throat. "It's not what you think." "Really?" I pick up my phone, pull up the screenshot I took. Jenna Whitfield's YouTube tutorial, that same burgundy shade on her lips as she discusses Pinot Noir pairings. "Because I think you've been flying to San Francisco. I think you've been staying at boutique hotels in Nob Hill. I think Derek's been covering for you while you spend weekends at a wine shop in North Beach." Her mouth opens, closes. "The credit card statements were interesting," I continue. Flights to SFO. Charges at Whitfield and Comer Wine Merchants. That little Italian place on Columbus Avenue. Trattoria Contadina. You went there twice in April alone. Jack, the dental conferences were fake. The girls' weekends with college friends, also fake. Derek's not sleeping with you. He's just your alibi. What's he getting out of it? Money? Are you paying him? She leans against the sink. Her scrubs, the same scrubs she wore to her fake job at the dental office today, suddenly look like a costume. Everything about her looks like a costume. It's not like that, she whispers. Then what's it like, Melissa? Explain it to me. She closes her eyes. When she opens them, something has shifted. The panic is still there, but underneath it I see something else. Resignation, maybe. Or relief. I met her in February, she says quietly. At the conference. The actual conference, there really was one. I wasn't planning on anything. We started talking at the hotel bar. She was there for a wine industry thing at the same venue. I wait. We talked for hours. About everything. About nothing. She made me laugh. Melissa's voice cracks. When was the last time you made me laugh, Jack? Don't. The word comes out harder than I intended. Don't you dare make this about me. I'm not. She stops. Starts again. We exchanged numbers, just as friends. But then we kept texting. And then she invited me to visit. Just to see the shop, she said. Just to taste some wines. In March. She nods. Derek. He's going through a divorce. His wife cheated on him with his business partner. When I told him I needed a cover story, he understood. He's been using me too, telling his lawyer he's been traveling for work when really he's been home with his kids. How noble. I set my phone down. So you've been lying to me for 5 months. Flying across the country to sleep with someone else. It's not just sleeping together, her voice rises. It's not some cheap affair, Jack. I love her. The words hit like a physical blow. I love her. Present tense. Not past. Not it's over. Not, it was a mistake. You love her, I repeat. Yes? Melissa's crying now, tears running down her face, but she's not looking away. I love her, and I know that destroys everything. I know it destroys you, destroys our family, destroys the life we built, but I can't keep pretending. Pretending what? That I'm happy, that this is enough, that I'm... She gestures helplessly at herself, at me, at the bathroom around us. That I'm straight, Jack. I've known for years, since before we got married. But I thought I could make it work. I thought if I just tried hard enough, if I was a good wife and a good mother, it would be enough. I stare at her. 11 years. 11 years of marriage, of building a life together, of 2 children who worship her. And she's known the whole time. You thought you could make it work, I say slowly. So you married me anyway, had my kids. Let me believe... I stop. My hands are shaking. Let me believe we were happy. We were happy. Parts of it were real, Jack. I do love you. Just not the way you love her. She doesn't answer. She doesn't have to. I pick up the wine glass. The burgundy lip print is perfect, pressed into the glass like a signature, like proof of ownership. Friday, I say. You're supposed to fly out Friday, another girls' weekend. She nods. Were you planning to tell me? Ever? I don't know. Her voice is barely audible. I kept thinking I'd end it, that I'd stop. But every time I tried, every time I told myself it was the last trip, she trails off. I couldn't stay away. I set the glass down carefully. If I hold it any longer, I'm going to throw it. Get out, I say. Jack, get out of this bathroom. Go sleep in the guest room. I need to think. We should talk about this. About the kids, about the kids. I laugh, and it sounds wrong, even to my own ears. Yeah, let's talk about Emma and Tyler. Let's talk about how you're going to explain to them that mommy's leaving because she's in love with someone else. Someone who isn't daddy. I never said I was leaving. Really? Because you just told me you love her. You just told me you can't keep pretending. So, what exactly did you think was going to happen here, Melissa? I'd just be okay with you flying to San Francisco twice a month to screw your sommelier girlfriend while I stay home with our kids. She flinches. Don't be crude. Crude? You want to talk about crude? You left a wine glass with her lipstick on it in our bathroom. You've been kissing me goodnight after spending weekends in her bed. You've been... I stop. Breathe. Get out. Now. She goes. I stand in the bathroom alone, surrounded by lipstick tubes and tissue paper and that damn wine glass. The mirror is covered in burgundy kiss marks, 6 different shades that all look the same until you know which one to look for. My phone buzzes. A text from Derek's number, the one I found in the burner phone records. She there yet? Tell her Jay says the cab Frank came in. Should be perfect for Friday. I stare at the message. He doesn't know. Derek doesn't know I found out. Which means Melissa hasn't told him yet. Which means they think Friday is still happening. I think about Jenna Whitfield. Her wine shop in North Beach. Her YouTube channel with its 12,000 subscribers. Her Instagram feed full of bottles and tasting notes and, occasionally, a glimpse of the shop itself. Exposed brick, reclaimed wood shelves, a tasting bar with vintage glasses. Whitfield & Kober Wine Merchants. 847 Columbus Avenue. I pull up the website. It's elegant, minimalist. Photos of the shop, the selection, customer testimonials. There's a section about Jenna herself, her training in Napa, her sommelier certification, her passion for bringing people together through wine. Bringing people together, right? There's a contact form, a business email, a phone number. I screenshot everything. Then I open a new browser window and search for something else. Custom wine label printing, San Francisco area, rush orders. Because if Melissa wants to build a life around wine, if she wants to throw away everything we had for some boutique shop owner and her cab Frank, then I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly what kind of wine they're really serving. The kind that tastes like lies. The kind that leaves a stain. The wine label website offers rush printing. 72 hours for custom labels. Overnight shipping available. I've got 4 days until Melissa flies out Friday morning. I sit in my office with the door closed, designing on my laptop. The template is simple. Standard wine label dimensions, elegant font, clean layout. The text writes itself. Jenna's Reserve. A full-bodied affair. Notes of deception, undertones of betrayal. Aged 8 months in secret. Paired best with other women's husbands. I order 200 labels. Rush production, overnight delivery to my office. $487 on my personal credit card. The brick part takes more planning. Wednesday afternoon, I pick up Emma and Tyler from school. Tyler's talking about his science project, something about volcanoes and baking soda. Emma needs poster board for her book report. Can we stop at the craft store? She asks. Sure, sweetheart. We spend 40 minutes in the aisles. Emma picks out purple poster board and glitter markers. Tyler finds a pack of modeling clay he doesn't need but insists is essential for the volcano. I let him get it. Normal dad things. Regular Wednesday. My phone buzzes. Melissa. Running late tonight. Staff meeting went long. Can you handle dinner? I text back. No problem. Pizza, okay with the kids? Perfect. Thank you, babe. Babe. I order the pizza from my car while Emma and Tyler argue about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Tyler says yes. Emma says it's disgusting. I let them debate, their voices washing over me like background noise. At home, I set them up with homework at the kitchen table. The pizza arrives. We eat together, the 3 of us. Tyler tells me about a kid in his class who brought a snake for show and tell. Emma complains about her math teacher assigning too much homework. I listen. I nod. I refill their milk glasses. Melissa gets home at 8:30. The kids are in their pajamas, teeth brushed. I'm reading Tyler a chapter of his current book. Something about dragons and wizards. She kisses the top of his head. Sorry I missed bedtime. It's okay, Mom. Tyler yawns. Dad does the voices better anyway. She laughs, but I catch something in her eyes. Guilt, maybe? Or maybe I'm just seeing what I want to see now. After the kids are asleep, we sit on the couch. She's scrolling through her phone. I'm pretending to watch whatever's on TV. How was your day? She asks. Fine. Yours? Exhausting. Dr. Brennan wants to implement this new scheduling system. The whole staff is pushing back. She talks about work for 10 minutes. I make appropriate sounds. She has no idea I know every word is performance. I'm heading to bed, she finally says. Early morning tomorrow. I'll be up in a bit. She kisses my cheek. Her lips feel like plastic. Thursday morning, the labels arrive at my office. I sign for the package, carry it to my desk. Inside are 200 perfectly printed wine labels, each one a small grenade. I peel one off the backing, hold it up to the light. The paper quality is good. Professional. It looks like it belongs on a bottle. My phone rings. Kevin, the site supervisor, has questions about the foundation pour scheduled for next week. I walk him through the specifications, check the weather forecast, confirm the concrete delivery time. Work continues. Projects move forward. The world keeps spinning. At lunch, I drive to a hardware store across town. Not the one near my house where I know the manager. Somewhere anonymous. I buy work gloves, a canvas bag, and nothing else. The cashier doesn't look at me twice. The bricks I already have. There's a pile of them behind my office building, leftovers from a landscaping project last summer. Red clay bricks, standard size. Heavy enough to do damage. I load 6 of them into my trunk after dark, when the parking lot is empty. Friday morning arrives cold and gray. Melissa's alarm goes off at 5. I hear her moving around the bathroom, the shower running, the hairdryer humming. I stay in bed, eyes closed, breathing steady. She comes back into the bedroom moving quietly, getting dressed, packing last-minute items into her carry-on. Jack, she whispers. I don't answer. Let her think I'm sleeping. She leaves without waking me. I hear the garage door open, her car backing out. The house settles into silence. I get up. The kids won't be awake for another hour. I have time. In my office at home, I print out screenshots. Melissa's flight information, United 1847, departing Columbus at 9:15 a.m., arriving San Francisco at 11:42 a.m. local time. Her hotel reservation at the Fairmont, checking in today, checking out Monday morning. Jenna's wine shop, Whitfield and Cumber Wine Merchants, is in the Marina District. The website shows elegant photos, exposed brick walls, wooden wine racks, a tasting bar with Edison bulb lighting. Hours, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., closed Sunday and Monday. I studied the storefront photo. Large plate glass windows. The shop name in gold lettering. Wine bottles displayed in the window, artfully arranged. Those windows won't be there much longer. I drop the kids at school at 8:15. Emma has her book report poster. Tyler has his volcano supplies. They kiss me goodbye, run off to their classrooms. Normal Friday morning, I drive to the airport. Not inside. I park in the economy lot, walk to the terminal viewing area. From here, I can see the departure boards. United 1847 shows on-time departure. At 9:47 a.m., the status changes to departed. She's in the air. 35,000 feet and climbing, flying toward her weekend with Jenna. Probably texting her right now or whatever you do on airplane Wi-Fi. Planning their reunion, I drive back home. The house feels different without her in it. Emptier. Or maybe just more honest. The wine labels are in a box in my trunk. The bricks are wrapped in an old blanket. I've booked a red-eye flight to San Francisco, departing Columbus at 11:55 p.m. tonight, arriving SFO at 2:14 a.m. Saturday morning, returning Sunday evening. My mother thinks I'm going to Cleveland for an emergency work thing. She's staying with Emma and Tyler for the weekend. I drop them off at her house after school, their overnight bags packed, excited about a sleepover at Grandma's. Everything is arranged. At the airport. Friday night, I check my single carry-on bag. Inside, the box of wine labels, the work gloves, the canvas bag. The bricks I'll have to acquire locally. Can't exactly fly with those. The gate area is half empty. Business travelers mostly, people who look as tired as I feel. I buy coffee I don't drink. Sit at the gate, watch planes take off into the darkness. My phone buzzes. Melissa. Made it to the hotel, about to head to dinner. Miss you. She's attached a selfie. She's in the Fairmont lobby, smiling, looking relaxed. Happy. I don't respond. Boarding starts at 11:30. I'm in seat 23A window. The plane fills slowly. A woman sits next to me, immediately puts in earbuds and closes her eyes. We push back from the gate at 11:58. The flight attendant goes through safety procedures. I stare out the window at the lights of Columbus falling away below. 4.5 hours to San Francisco. I close my eyes, but I don't sleep. I'm thinking about wine labels and plate glass windows, about sommelier tutorials and burgundy lipstick, about 11 years of marriage built on a lie, about Melissa and Jenna probably having drinks right now at some trendy restaurant, holding hands under the table, planning their Sunday maybe, wine tasting in Napa, brunch in the Mission. They have no idea I'm coming. The plane cuts through the darkness at 500 miles per hour. I feel nothing. No anger, no sadness. Just a cold, clear certainty about what happens next. The labels are in the overhead bin. The gloves are in my pocket. By Sunday morning, everyone in San Francisco's wine community will know exactly who Jenna Whitfield is and what she does with married women from Ohio. The seatbelt sign dings off. The cabin lights dim. I lean my head against the window and watch the stars. The Uber drops me at Jenna's Wine Collective at 2:47 a.m. The street's empty, not even a homeless guy, just fog rolling in from the bay and the smell of salt water mixed with garbage. The shop sits on a corner in the Marina District, all exposed brick and reclaimed wood, the kind of place that charges $18 for a glass of Pinot Noir and calls it accessible. Through the plate glass windows, I can see the interior. Edison bulbs hanging from the ceiling. Wine racks made from old barrel staves. A tasting bar that runs the length of the room, polished to a mirror shine. Everything carefully curated to look effortlessly authentic. I've got the duffel bag slung over my shoulder. 23 pounds of bricks from our half-finished patio project. The labels are in my jacket pocket, 200 of them, each one featuring a photo I pulled from Jenna's Instagram, her and Melissa at some vineyard in Napa. Melissa's head on Jenna's shoulder, both of them laughing. The text reads, Whitfield Reserve, aged in deception, bottled in lies, pairs well with other people's wives. I printed them at a 24-hour FedEx in Columbus. The clerk didn't even blink. The backpack has zip ties, a utility knife, packing tape. I've thought this through on the flight, running through scenarios while the guy next to me snored against the window. Not the violence. I'm not going to hurt anyone. But Jenna needs to understand what she's done, what they've both done. I check my watch. 3 a.m. Melissa texted me at midnight. Her midnight, 9 p.m. my time, saying she was going to bed early. Wine tasting wiped me out, babe. Talk tomorrow. I'd responded with a thumbs up emoji. She has no idea I'm 4 blocks from where she's actually sleeping. The Airbnb Jenna rented is on Filbert Street. I found it through the confirmation email on the burner phone. A converted Victorian, 2 bedrooms, perfect for a romantic getaway. They checked in yesterday afternoon. I could go there first, pound on the door, make them face me together. But that's not the play. I set the duffel down and pull out the first brick. It's cold in my hand, rough concrete against my palm. The window in front of me reflects my face. I look like a stranger. Hollow eyes. 3-day stubble. I haven't slept in 36 hours. The brick feels heavier than it should. I think about Emma asking me to help with her science project last week. Tyler begging me to play Mario Kart. Melissa kissing my cheek every morning before work, her lips tasting like mint toothpaste. 11 years of that kiss. 11 years of thinking I knew what my life was. My phone buzzes. A text from my brother. You land okay? I told him I was going to San Francisco. Told him everything, actually, sitting in his garage 2 nights ago while he worked on his motorcycle. He'd listened without interrupting, then said, "Don't do anything that puts you in jail. Those kids need their dad." I type back, "Yeah, all good." Another lie. I'm getting good at those. I look at the brick in my hand, then at the window. At the carefully arranged bottles inside, each one probably worth more than my weekly grocery budget. At the chalkboard menu listing tonight's featured wines. At the framed awards on the wall, Jenna smiling in every photo, holding plaques and certificates. I could do it. One throw. Watch the glass explode. Then another brick, another window. Make it so every person walking past tomorrow sees the destruction. Slap the labels on every bottle I can reach through the broken windows. Let the whole neighborhood know what kind of person runs this place. My arm pulls back, but I don't throw. Because Tyler's voice is in my head. "Dad, why do people break stuff when they're mad?" We'd been watching a movie, some action thing where the hero trashes a bar. Tyler had looked confused, genuinely not understanding the logic. Doesn't that just make more problems? I'd told him the hero was making bad choices. That being angry doesn't give you permission to destroy things that aren't yours. The brick feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds now. I lower my arm. This isn't who I am. I coach Little League. I help old ladies load groceries into their cars. I stop at yellow lights. I'm the guy who does the right thing even when no one's watching. Except I'm standing outside a wine shop at 3 in the morning with a bag full of bricks and 200 revenge labels in my pocket. I sit down on the curb, still holding the brick. The fog's getting thicker. I can barely see across the street now. My flight back to Columbus leaves at noon. I'd booked it round trip, some part of me already knowing I wouldn't go through with whatever I'd planned. Because what's the actual end game here? I smash the windows, slap up the labels, and then what? Jenna files a police report. Security cameras, and there are definitely security cameras, show me clear as day. I get arrested for vandalism, maybe breaking and entering if I'm stupid enough to reach through the broken glass. Melissa uses it in the divorce, paints me as unstable, dangerous. I lose custody time with Emma and Tyler. Also, I can feel what? Vindicated? Powerful? I set the brick down on the sidewalk. My phone buzzes again. This time, it's an email notification. The divorce attorney I'd consulted yesterday, Philip Grant, recommended by a guy at work who'd been through it. His email says, "Jack, got your documents. We should talk Monday. Don't do anything this weekend that complicates your position. You have the high ground here. Keep it." I hadn't told him I was flying to San Francisco, hadn't mentioned the bricks or the labels, but somehow he knew to send that email at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Like he'd dealt with enough betrayed spouses to recognize the warning signs. I stand up, leaving the brick on the curb. Pick up the duffel bag. The labels in my pocket feel like they're burning through the fabric. There's a dumpster in the alley next to the wine shop. I walk over, open the lid. It smells like rotting produce and spilled wine. I pull out the stack of labels, look at them one more time in the dim streetlight. Melissa's face smiling up at me. Happy in a way I haven't seen her look in years. That's the thing that actually breaks something in my chest. Not the affair itself, but the evidence that she's capable of that kind of joy. Just not with me. I drop the labels into the dumpster. Then I upend the duffel bag, and the bricks tumble in with a series of heavy thuds. The backpack goes in too. Zip ties, tape, knife, all of it. I close the lid. My hands are shaking. Not from cold, but from the adrenaline draining out of my system. I'd been so sure on the plane, so certain about what needed to happen. But standing here, looking at this wine shop that has nothing to do with my marriage falling apart except that the woman who owns it happened to be what Melissa wanted. Breaking windows won't fix anything. I pull out my phone and open Uber. The driver's 12 minutes away. While I wait, I walk to the corner and look down Filbert Street. I can't see the Victorian from here, but I know it's there. 4 blocks away. Melissa's sleeping in someone else's arms. Probably peaceful, probably relieved to be away from the lie of our life together. Part of me still wants to walk down there. Pound on the door. Make her look at me and explain how she could do this. How she could kiss our kids goodnight and then fly across the country to sleep with someone else. But Tyler's voice again. Doesn't that just make more problems? Yeah, buddy, it does. The Uber pulls up, a Toyota Prius with a dent in the passenger door. The driver's a woman in her 50s, tired eyes, NPR playing softly on the radio. Airport? She asks. Yeah, SFO. She pulls away from the curb, and I watch Jenna's wine collective disappear in the side mirror. The windows intact, the bottles undisturbed. No evidence I was ever here. Early flight? The driver asks. Something like that. She nods, doesn't push for conversation. We drive through empty streets, past closed restaurants and dark storefronts. The fog's so thick now I can barely see a block ahead. My phone's still in my hand. I open my messages, find Melissa's thread. Her last text stares back at me. Wine tasting wiped me out, babe. Talk tomorrow? I start typing. I know about Jenna. But I delete it before sending. Because she doesn't get to know I came here. Doesn't get to know I almost destroyed something. That I stood on that curb with a brick in my hand and chose not to throw it. That's mine. The only thing I get to keep. I land back in Columbus at 11:47 a.m. My phone buzzes before I'm off the plane. A text from Melissa. Landing in an hour, can we talk when I get home? I stare at the message. She doesn't know I was in San Francisco. Doesn't know I stood outside Jenna's shop with a brick in my hand at 3 in the morning. Sure, I type back. The kids are at school. I've got maybe 2 hours before Melissa gets home from the airport. I drive straight there, my carry-on still in the trunk with the unused bricks weighing it down like evidence. The house feels different now. Everything does. I walk through rooms where we've lived for 7 years and see props instead of memories. The couch where we watched Netflix, the kitchen table where we had family dinners, the bed where she kissed me goodbye before flying to another woman. I should sleep. Haven't slept in 36 hours. But my brain won't stop cataloging details, building timelines, calculating damage. The wine glass is still in the bathroom. I'd left it there after matching the lipstick shade, Jenna's signature burgundy from that tutorial video. Melissa's careful performance, tasting wines and talking about flavor profiles and terroir, while really she was tasting someone else. I pick up the glass. Hold it to the light. The lip print is still visible, a perfect crescent of burgundy stain. Something clicks in my head. Something cold and methodical. I go to Melissa's makeup bag. Find 3 lipsticks she actually wears. A nude, a pink, a red. None of them burgundy. I line them up on the bathroom counter next to the wine glass. Then I go to my laptop. Melissa gets home at 2:15 p.m. I hear her car in the driveway, her key in the lock. She calls out, "Jack?" "Upstairs." She finds me in our bathroom. The wine glass sits on the counter. Next to it, I've printed out 3 images. Jenna's tutorial video screenshot showing that burgundy lipstick, Jenna's Instagram profile, and a credit card charge from Whitfield Wine and Spirit San Francisco, CA, dated 2 months ago. Melissa stops in the doorway. Her face goes white. "What is this?" "I was hoping you could tell me." My voice sounds calm, detached. "I found the glass after your last trip. Thought maybe you'd had a friend over. Then I started wondering about the lipstick shade." She's staring at the wine glass like it might explode. "See, you don't own any burgundy lipstick," I continue. "I checked. So I started thinking about who does. Who would leave a wine glass in our bathroom? Who you've been visiting in San Francisco?" "Jack, the tutorial was easy to find. Jenna Whitfield, sommelier, demonstrating wine tasting techniques. She mentions her signature shade in the comments. Bordeaux Dream by Sephora. Same shade on the glass." Melissa leans against the doorframe. "I was going to tell you." "When? After the next trip? The one after that?" "I didn't know how." "You told me Friday night." I pick up the wine glass. "You said you've known since before we got married, that you thought you could make it work. Make me work." She flinches. "But you didn't tell me about the lipstick, about drinking wine in our bathroom, probably calling her, probably—" I stop. Take a breath. "You brought her into our house. Even if she wasn't physically here, you brought her here." "It wasn't like that." "Then what was it like, Melissa? Explain it to me." She slides down to sit on the floor, back against the doorframe. For a moment, she looks like she might cry. Then her face hardens. "I bought the lipstick," she says quietly. "After our first trip together. Jenna wore it, and I thought it was beautiful, and I bought the same shade. I wore it once here and had a glass of wine and called her and felt like maybe I could be myself for 5 minutes in my own house." The honesty is worse than the lies. "You felt like yourself," I repeat, "with her lipstick, her wine recommendations, her." "Yes." "And with me? With Emma and Tyler? What were we?" She doesn't answer. I set the wine glass down carefully. "I want you to do something for me." "What?" "Put on the lipstick, the burgundy. Then press your lips to the bathroom mirror." "Jack, that's... do it." She stares at me. Then she gets up, goes to her makeup bag, pulls out a lipstick I've never seen before. Burgundy. Bordeaux Dream. She applies it slowly. Her hands shake. Now the mirror. She presses her lips to the glass. Leaves a perfect print, burgundy and damning. "Again," I say. "Next to it." She does. "Keep going." "Jack, I want to see it. All of it. Every version of yourself you were hiding." She presses her lips to the mirror again. And again. Burgundy prints spreading across the glass like evidence, like confession, like the truth she never gave me willingly. When she's covered half the mirror, she stops. Turns to me with burgundy lips and tears running down her face. "Are you happy now?" "No," I say. "I don't think I'll be happy for a long time." She wipes her mouth with the back of her hand, smearing burgundy across her skin. "What do you want from me?" "The truth. All of it." "How long were you planning to keep this going?" She sits on the edge of the bathtub. "I don't know. Forever, maybe. Until I couldn't anymore." "And me? The kids?" "I love them. I love Emma and Tyler more than anything. But not me." Silence. "Say it," I tell her. "You owe me that much." "No," she whispers. "I don't love you. Not the way you deserve. Not the way I love her." The words should hurt more. Maybe I'm too numb, too far past the initial devastation to feel new pain. Okay, I say. Okay? You'll move to the guest room permanently. We'll tell the kids together this weekend. I've already contacted a divorce attorney, Robert Brennan. His card's on the kitchen counter. You should get your own. Jack, I'm not doing this to punish you. I'm doing this because our marriage is over and has been for a long time. Maybe it never really started. She's crying harder now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know. I look at the mirror, covered in burgundy lip prints. But sorry doesn't fix this. I leave her in the bathroom and go downstairs. My phone buzzes. Emma's school, reminding me about the parent-teacher conference tomorrow. Normal life, continuing like the world hasn't ended. In the kitchen, I pour myself a glass of water. Through the window, I can see Tyler's soccer ball in the backyard. Emma's bike against the garage. Evidence of the life we built, the family we made. The bricks are still in my trunk. I should get rid of them. Donate them, dump them, anything. Instead, I leave them there. A reminder of how close I came to destroying everything. Not just Melissa's lover's shop, but any chance of keeping the high ground. Any possibility of Emma and Tyler seeing me as something other than a man consumed by rage. Upstairs, I hear water running. Melissa washing off the lipstick probably, cleaning the mirror, erasing the evidence. But some stains don't wash away. My phone buzzes again. This time, it's a text from an unknown number. This is Jenna. Melissa gave me your number. I know you probably hate me. I just wanted to say I never meant to hurt your family. For what it's worth, she loves those kids more than anything. I stare at the message, the audacity of it, the presumption. I type back, "Don't contact me again, and tell Melissa if she wants to be with you, she can explain that to Emma and Tyler herself." 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. Then, understood, I'm sorry. I block the number. At 3:30, I pick up the kids from school. Emma chatters about her science project. Tyler shows me a drawing of our family. Him, Emma, me, Melissa, and Bailey the dog, all holding hands under a rainbow. It's for art class, he says proudly. We had to draw our family doing something fun. I look at the drawing, at Melissa's smiling face, at the rainbow overhead. It's beautiful, buddy, I tell him. Because it is. And because in 2 days I'm going to have to tell him that the family in his drawing doesn't exist anymore. But not today. Today, I take them for ice cream. We sit in the shop and they tell me about their day and I listen like everything is normal. Like their mother isn't upstairs packing for the guest room. Like I didn't spend last night in San Francisco holding a brick outside my wife's lover's wine shop. Like our life isn't shattering into pieces we'll spend years trying to reassemble. Emma gets chocolate chip. Tyler gets Superman. I get nothing. Can't stomach it. Aren't you having any, Dad? Emma asks. Not today, sweetheart. Not today. The divorce took 9 months. Melissa moved out in July into an apartment downtown. Not San Francisco, not with Jenna. That relationship didn't survive the exposure. Turns out affairs built on secrecy don't translate well to reality. Jenna wanted someone available, uncomplicated. Melissa came with 2 kids, a bitter ex-husband, and guilt that ate at her in the quiet hours. They ended it in September. Melissa told me during a custody exchange, her voice flat, like she was reporting the weather. I didn't gloat, didn't feel vindicated. Just nodded and helped Tyler load his overnight bag into her car. The kids adjusted better than I expected. Therapy helped, for them and for me. Emma asked hard questions. Tyler cried at night for the first month. But children are resilient in ways adults forget how to be. They learned that sometimes families change shape, that love doesn't always look the way you thought it would. I kept the house. Melissa didn't fight me on it. Maybe guilt, maybe something else. She sees the kids every other weekend and Wednesday nights. She's dating someone new now, a woman named Rachel who works in hospital administration. I met her once at Tyler's soccer game. She seemed kind, careful around the kids. That's all I can ask for. The bricks stayed in my trunk for 3 weeks after San Francisco. Every time I drove somewhere, I felt their weight shifting in the back. Finally, I used them to build a small flower bed in the backyard. Emma helped me arrange them, her small hands patting dirt around the edges. We planted sunflowers. They grew tall that summer, bright yellow faces turning toward the sun. I never told anyone about that night in San Francisco. Not my lawyer, not my brother, not the therapist I started seeing in August. Some things you carry alone. The brick in my hand, the moment of choice, the decision to walk away. That's mine. A reminder that anger is a fire that burns the person holding it. I'm dating again. Nothing serious. A woman named Beth I met at a work conference. She's divorced too, has a teenage daughter, understands the complexity of building something new from broken pieces. We take it slow. I'm not ready to trust anyone with the whole story yet. Maybe I never will be. Emma's in 5th grade now. Tyler's in 2nd. They're good kids. Happy, mostly. They know their mother loves them, even if she couldn't love their father the way marriage required. That's a hard truth, but it's better than a comfortable lie. The wine glass, I kept it. Put it in a box in the garage with the divorce papers and Melissa's old lipsticks. Sometimes I think I should throw it away, purge the evidence of that chapter. But it reminds me of something important. That people are capable of extraordinary deception, yes, but also that I'm capable of restraint when everything in me screamed for destruction. I could have thrown that brick. Could have shattered glass and plastered those labels everywhere and felt powerful for maybe 5 minutes before the consequences crushed me. Instead, I walked away. Chose my children over my rage. Chose the long, hard road of healing over the quick satisfaction of revenge. That choice saved me. Not immediately. The months after were brutal, full of sleepless nights and moments where I questioned everything about my judgment, my worth, my future. But gradually, the weight lifted. The anger faded into something manageable. I started sleeping through the night, started laughing at Tyler's jokes again, started imagining a future that didn't revolve around what Melissa had taken from me. Last month, Emma asked if I was happy. We were driving home from her piano lesson, just the two of us. The question came out of nowhere, the way kids' questions do. I'm getting there, sweetheart, I told her. Some days are better than others. She thought about that. Mom says she's sorry, that she wishes things were different. I know she is. Are you sorry? I looked at her in the rearview mirror. 9 years old, her mother's eyes, my stubborn chin. Too young to carry this weight, but carrying it anyway. I'm sorry things didn't work out the way I thought they would, I said carefully. But I'm not sorry I have you and Tyler. You two are the best thing that ever happened to me. She smiled. Even when Tyler put my Barbie in the microwave? Even then. The truth is messier than that, of course. Some days I am sorry. Sorry I wasted 11 years on someone who was pretending. Sorry my kids have to shuttle between 2 homes. Sorry I'm 38 and starting over. But regret is quicksand. You can't build a life standing in it. So I focus on what I can control. I show up for my kids. I do my job well. I'm kind to the barista who makes my coffee and the neighbor who always forgets to move his trash cans. I'm building a life that's smaller than the one I imagined, but more honest, more mine. The sunflowers in Emma's garden died when fall came. We pulled them up together, saved the seeds in an envelope. This spring, we'll plant them again. Different flowers, same bricks, new growth. That's the thing about rebuilding. You use what you have, even the broken pieces, especially the broken pieces. They remind you what you survived, what you chose not to become. I'm not the man who throws bricks through windows. I'm the man who builds gardens instead. And maybe, eventually, that will be enough.